Let's take you here. Renowned trombone player Ndata Jonas Gwangwa is being remembered as one of the greatest in the country. The legendary musician has passed away at the age of 83. We reflect on the life and time of the jazz legend. Now we're joined by his son, Mojalefa Gwangwa. Very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us, Mojalefa. Perhaps just to start with, a very difficult time for the family, no doubt. Our condolences. Mama and your siblings, how is everybody doing at this moment?
Oh, thanks a lot. Well, we're trying hard. We've been hit by the second impact in the family. As you know that 17 days ago, we lost our mother, Violet. And now it's Papa. But in his life, he lived with his wife and he loved her very much. So I would say it's a loss to the nation, it's a loss to the cultural fraternity, it's a loss to the world, because Papa was internationally renowned for his work, from movies, everything, like Cry Freedom and all the movies that he did before.
He was internationally renowned for his work, but at home, who was he to you?
He was a father, he was a friend, but most of all, sometimes when we have to do some work, we have to swap the heads, that now you stop being a father, I'm your manager, you're going to listen to what I'm doing. So sometimes it will become difficult. Papa, now we are going to work now. So you stop being a father, then you become, an artist, and I'm the manager. I'm going to do what I say. But generally, he was a loving person, a friend, like I'm saying, and really, the whole family is like, we've lost a friend more than a father.
He was also very active in the days of liberation and trying to liberate South Africa. He'd be stationed all over the continent and outside of the continent as well. What did his absence mean for you when you were growing up? Did you feel any impact?
Yes, I did. Growing up as a young boy, and then Papa is in and out of the house. And then I remember when we were in Botswana, I think it was in the 80s, I used to ask Mama, where's Papa? Mama, where's Papa? And he says, hey, Wanak, I think now that you are growing. And then they organized, we flew to Europe, we started in London, and then we went to Norway. And it was after 3-4 years, Kisabone Papa, and then we met him in Norway. And then they started to explain the works. He has to travel around the world. He has to do this, and remind the people about the plight of South Africans during apartheid. So this is when Haki Khula then can understand what was his role during that time. So his absence, to me, gave me also the strength to understand his work, understand the role that he's playing, to understand even the liberation movement, what it's all about. Then it instills something into me, like the role of arts in the liberation movement, that even today we continue to work with. I remember we were invited in Algeria to talk about the role of art in the liberation movement. So I learned quite a lot from him and through his travels and all those things.
He was somebody that was loved by a lot of people for his music in part. Who was his or some of his favorite artists, if you could share that with us?
Locally, it was youngsters also. He loved to talk about Sia, the trombonist. He loved to talk about the young musicians that he performed with in his band. He loved Ringo, Judith, Thandi Iswa, and quite a lot of the instrumentalists. And he worked like Lubo Pilimunama, he worked Bosipo Mabuza. The list is long, Bosipo, Barkimang, Mavundla. So his passion was of youngsters that can actually emulate them, but not necessarily play their style, but to be able to identify themselves, but within the South African culture, not emulate people outside, like the Americans, the Europeans, because he said, our culture is rich. And if we don't teach the youngsters how to do the right thing whilst we're still alive, I think it's going to be lost. And most of them was encouraging them to actually listen to Mbaqanga, go back to the basics of our people. And then you use the Western instrument to actually further our music. Like if you listen to the song Blues Kanga, one of the guitarists, Bongani Ngumbe, will say, hey, a time alana complicated, so like the songs, you know, when it plays, abantu bayaxhensa automatically. But this is what he wanted to say, that whatever you do not forget who you are.
Absolutely. We appreciate that news of his passing only came in just yesterday, but are there any details you can share with us, perhaps in terms of his funeral or his memorial?
Currently, we are meeting with different stakeholders. The city of Johannesburg is here. We're still having to wait for the minister who said he'll give us a call. But the family will finalize today, and first thing tomorrow morning, we'll be able to give you the full details. We don't want to duplicate what the city has planned, and also we want the city to work with the family's wish list, because during, you know, after Mama's funeral, there's certain things that we talked, Leena, and we wish that that can be honored when this happens. But all the details of the memorial services and everything, they'll be advised shortly.
Just maybe in closing the conversation, Haukabuele Papa one last time, what would you say to him?
I want to see you, because all the time I see your music videos on television, eNCA and other media platforms. I feel that you're still around, and like I feel that you've gone somewhere to perform, and we shall meet again. So to us as a family, Papa, your legacy, your spirit will continue with us, and we shall continue. And what you have instilled in us, the respect, the dignity that we should respect and appreciate other people so that they can be able to respect and appreciate us. More than anything, we will also continue to say other musicians, to young musicians, read about Jonas Gwangwa, read about Kipu Mekete, read about our local musicians, read about Hebitwaedi, read about all the musicians that are here in South Africa, so that you know what South Africa is about before you give us what other people are doing. You must be able to know what to do as South African musicians.
Mojalefa Gwangwa, Holonare Repepi, thank you very much for giving us your time this afternoon.